But the thing about Mirko was unbelievable power and speed, and he could just close the distance quickly and blast you. And I think that is a difference between that and a guy who's like a methodical, set things up. Yeah. Those guys didn't do as well. They didn't translate as well. They get taken down too easily. What would you think would be like the stuff? Well, it's weird because there's so many different guys.
You know, one of the other things I think benefits us wrestlers is the fact that jiu-jitsu people are stuck on doing jiu-jitsu the jiu-jitsu way, right? Strikers are stuck on striking. When we come into MMA, we know we can't win a match just by wrestling, right? So we know I got to add striking. I got to add jiu-jitsu. And I'm open to that idea, right? I'm open to those ideas that I have to add those things into my arsenal where some jiu-jitsu guys are like, well, I'm just going to submit them. Yeah. And they don't develop their, I mean, you can literally not name me, Joe, a jiu-jitsu guy or a striking guy, well, maybe Jose Aldo, who has developed high-level wrestling. But you can name a lot of wrestlers who have developed high-level something else, right? I mean, when you see the crossover, like John Jones was a wrestler. Right. He can strike with pretty much anyone on the planet, right? I mean, Stipe Miocic was a wrestler. He can pretty much strike with anyone on the planet. I mean, so you have these wrestlers who are becoming high-level at these other skills, but you don't have a lot of other skills becoming high level at wrestling. And for me, I think it's the stubbornness of people who come from those other backgrounds are too stubborn to want to work a lot on wrestling, whereas wrestlers are like, okay, teach me how to strike.
Yeah, I think it's a recognition of what's important. Like George St. Pierre is a perfect example of a guy who started off with a Kyokushin background, didn't wrestle in college or high school, became a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and just figured it out and realized what a critical skill it is too.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a handful of them, right?
Yeah, very small handful.
Jose Aldo would be like, he wasn't an offensive wrestler, but he would be like, he was so ridiculously hard to take down. I mean, fantastic takedown defense. And so there's a handful of them, but there's not a lot. But then if you go to wrestlers going the opposite direction into jiu-jitsu or striking, you know, you can name quite a few that were able to do those things really well.
You know, it's interesting when you see a guy like KHABIB Nurmagomedov, and you see
he's fantastic.
Fuck yeah, and his mauling, aggressive wrestling. I mean, you see what a massive factor it is in fights, like the Edson Barboza fight. Yeah. Like that to me is one of the perfect examples when I say, look, the ability to take a guy down and control him on the ground is it's the bottom of the pyramid. It's the most important foundation. Yes. Because he dictates where the fight takes place. Yeah, you might catch him when he's coming in trying to get you. You might. But if he gets you.
He was like a freaking Terminator, though. He was just like, I'm just going to come get you.
Yeah, he just ate kicks and kept moving forward.
I'm going to fucking beat your ass. And you have no hope.
Just the constant chasing him around.
It was chasing him, right? Yeah. It was insane. Yeah. No, he was fantastic. Yeah. But no, I would totally agree that at the bottom of the pyramid, it's like it's the trump card. If you're fighting a wrestler and you can't stop a takedown, you're going to lose 90% of the time. Yeah. You know, and if you're the wrestler and you can go get a takedown really easily, you're going to win 90% of the time.
The only wild card in that equation is a guy like Brian Ortega who fights so well off his back.
But how many people get submissions from guard?
How many of those? Yeah.
I mean, even like Anthony Pettis, who got a lot of submissions from guard, a lot of that was transitions off of, I body kick Benson Henderson. Benson Henderson hates getting body kicked, so he dives in for a takedown and gets armbarred, right? Or Gil Melendez getting guillotine choked because he got jacked a few times, right? Yeah. So there's a handful of those, but just strictly like, I take you down, you're in guard, then I submit you. Right. Maybe for Bricio Verdum every once in a while. Yeah. Maybe Brian Ortega, but the number's pretty damn small.
It is very small. Yeah. And it's smaller now than I think ever before because people understand the takedown or the guard defense.
Yeah, even like this guy so one of the things that frustrates me the most, more than anything else I made, is bad strategy. It just like drives me up the wall like the Lima thing. But this freaking knucklehead that fought Michael Chandler on Saturday.
I didn't see it.
His name's Goiti Yamauchi, or I don't know what his damn name is. So the first round, he pulls guard, like, fast. Gets freaking hammered on for like 4 minutes. And then he ends up on bottom again in the second round. Third round, he gets taken down in, 15 seconds. Did he try to get up one time? Nah, he just laid there and got his ass whooped for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Like, every once in a while, try a Kimura. Every once in a while, try a triangle. But it's like, dude, you're getting your ass whipped. You're down 2 rounds to nothing. Try to get up. Try to do something. Change your strategy. If your strategy is not working, you can't just stick with the same bullshit and get your ass whipped for another 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Give me a break. What do you think's going to happen down there?
Well, I think some guys get locked into a defensive position. Like they realize they're getting overwhelmed, and so they just try to survive.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think that way because you're a champ, and champions don't think that way. But I think for some people, there's a acceptance of their fate.
Ass whooping this.
This is just they're getting their ass whipped, and so they just try to stay conscious. They try to just protect themselves as much as they can.
Kind of like Edson Barboza. But then you know what's interesting about Edson Barboza? You saw once he realized he was going to survive, like when it was like 2 minutes left in the third round, maybe ish. So like the first round, he's like, I'm getting fucked up. I'm just gonna survive, right? But then when there was a couple minutes left, then he was like, okay, I'm gonna fight again. Like I'm gonna make it through this shit. I might as well. If I'm gonna make it through this, I might as well just fight back.
Yeah.
Right. And so he started fighting back really hard, like the last 2 minutes of that fight.
He tried. He certainly tried.
But there was a period in the middle where he like had resigned to just taking an ass whooping.
Well, I think body was just not responding. He was getting so fucked up, and you could see the pace that Khabib put on him in the first round, like. Halfway into the round, Barboza's like, Jesus Christ. You see the look in his eyes. He's got that 1,000-yard stare. He's like, whoa. Like,
what I signed up for.
Yeah. This guy's on another level. I mean, he really is on another level. I'm fascinated by him fighting Tony Ferguson. And apparently they're going to do that now.
It's going to happen in April.
Yeah. They don't know if it's going to be for the interim title or the actual title, whether they're going to strip Conor. They're in a weird position with
I think he beats up Tony. That's just my and I've underestimated Tony before, so I could be wrong again. I think it's again trump card. I think Tony's kind of one of those guys where he's pretty good everywhere. He's pretty damn solid wrestling, high level jiu-jitsu. But I see Khabib's wrestling being better than Tony's wrestling. So it's going to end up on the ground. And I think Tony's going to think he can submit him because his jiu-jitsu is very high level. But I think it'll be one of those things where Khabib's just good enough not to get submitted. And then he's going to land damage and land damage and land damage and land damage. And Tony's going to get close to a submission and close to a submission and close to a submission, but not quite get it. And then all this damage is going to just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. That's kind of how I see it going.
It's fascinating. And I also think it's fascinating now that Khabib has changed his training and has a real nutritionist and had no problem making weight. Yeah. So all the factors that played into him getting removed from the last time they were supposed to fight, pulled out of the card.
I thought that was kind of overblown. He only missed weight one time.
He only missed, missed weight one time, but his body shut down when he's making weight for the Michael Johnson fight in a similar way.
But he still did the Michael Johnson fight.
Yeah, but it was the same thing happened during the weigh-in. It was a rough weigh-in.
But there's been other guys who missed weight many times. I mean, if we go to
Johnny Hendricks,
Melvin Gillard, Kelvin Gastelum, and they missed it by a long. So I thought the Khabib thing kind of got overplayed. He missed weight one time. He had some injuries, which sucked for him.
But it was happening for a world title fight. You know, they were fighting for the interim title, and he misses weight.
Yeah, I mean, and so it was one of those where he probably just like, it was like okay for him to make it but be difficult, and he just got just a little bit too big.
Actually, was it for a world interim title when he was supposed to fight Tony?
I don't think it was the original time.
It was Kevin Lee, right? That was for the world title. Or interim title. Yeah, that whole division is kind of fucked up with Conor not even knowing whether or not he's fighting anymore.
They're going to strip him, right?
Yeah, most likely.
I think so.
I would imagine, unless Conor says, fuck it, I'm in.
I think it's the best.
I'm back. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it, I want to keep me belt. I don't know.
The best course of action is strip Conor, let Khabib and Tony fight it out, and then if Conor wants to come back, give him a title shot. That's going to happen, whatever.
Well, I think what would be the most lucrative thing is Conor versus GSP.
No, I want to shut up, Joe. I want to fight GSP.
Oh, you do?
Well, yes, I want to be number one. I don't want to fight Tyron because we've been friends for 20 years.
Right.
I want to fight GSP. That's who I want to fight.
Do you think that they would set that up? They would try to set up GSP versus Tyron, right? That would be the big super fight.
GSP doesn't want to fight anyone who can hit hard because he's worried about the brain damage.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't hit that hard.
Right? An interesting way of looking at it. Have you ever trained with GSP?
I've never trained. So I've trained with almost every top welterweight of this era except GSP. Really? Yeah. Well, GSP and Rory. But Shields, Fitch, Diaz a couple times, Tyron obviously. Go down the line. I've trained with pretty much everyone of this era.
What do you feel like if you do wind up retiring? What do you feel like you'll wind up doing? Just coaching wrestling?
Coaching wrestling. Yeah, I love doing it.